Good money, good money.
It's another Monday.
It's another Monday. They say when you win the Monday, you get momentum. You win the week. You win the Monday. You win the week. You win the week. You win the month. You win the month. You win the year.
That's a fact. Sounds valid. What would you say? Valid
Valid,
salad?
valid salad.
Valid salad.
I'll put my glasses on because I can't see.
All right. Do
Yeah,
your thing.
I'm capping. I could definitely see, but you know, the glasses play a big part.
That's a fact.
I hope they don't connect. I gotta turn them off real quick.
Okay. Hold on. Here we go.
But while I get these glasses right, um, how's your month been so far? September 8th. We 8 months, or I say 8 months, 8 days into the month. How's the month been so far? And you got anything you excited for this month?
Hmm. What am I excited for? I was already excited for this past Saturday because my mom basically held my sons down so me and my wife could get some time together. We had a nice little night Saturday. Um, what else? We want to go to the Buffalo and Dolphins game. It's a
Oh, that's what's
Thursday
up.
night game,
Well,
so can't complain. It's been a good month so far, even though we're about a week in. So
mhm,
just focused on making it a good one
that's
and
nice.
staying on point.
And
What about you though, man?
man, I'm excited. I just feel like a lot of change coming. I don't know where that change is coming from. Definitely getting more, rooted in um, the Word and God, and I'm just really just trying to change, as a person, and just change for the better. Like be more disciplined, be more professional, be more serious. Not that I'm not serious, but just really just keep that fire going and keep that hunger going on a daily basis, and utilize my time properly and really try to limit distractions. Distractions have been a little difficult lately. I ain't gonna lie, but every day is a battle. So let me put my phone on do not disturb before
Yeah,
I
I
get
got you.
more spam calls.
Definitely feel you. Especially in regard to the distraction. I told myself, I said I'm gonna stop scrolling. It's been hard, but it's crazy
It
because
is
like,
hard. It's
right, like
now.
it's like so harmless, but at the same time, you might, you might just you like relaxing, scrolling, whatever social media you in the mood for, and then
Yeah,
2 hours goes by. It's like, well, hold on, hold on, wait, and you can't get those 2 hours back.
for
So,
real.
you
And
know,
it be stuff that like some stuff is like you see it and you like nah, I'm about to watch that because it's like a team that you like, or
yeah,
it's a player, or it's just a podcast or something that's just like pulling your attention. I mean, social media was designed to pull people's attention. Like especially if you're a content creator, like you want to make videos with a hook that's gonna pull people in and pull their attention, and
yeah.
like it was really designed to pull our attention. So I ain't gonna lie, I think at this point, if I ain't posting content, I probably shouldn't even be on social media.
That's exactly what I was thinking. As a matter of fact, I heard, I forget who said it, but they were basically like, how I always say, like, you got to be a giver before you're a taker. And the person is basically saying, like, I post more than I watch. And I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, never thought about that, but I
that's
think that's
real.
a great idea, right?
Yeah,
So, and the person who said it, I know it's a woman, but, she, content creator, does this, does that. But she was like, yeah, like I'm never really like scrolling because I'm always posting. I'm always trying to give
yeah,
and put stuff out there more than I'm sitting there looking at stuff,
yeah.
spectating. So I said, oh, okay, all right, I
That's a
see.
good way to go about it. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I gotta write that on some paper and put it on my wall, just
Yeah,
to keep me locked in. Like
yeah, for sure.
I've been like kind of like a fanatic of like good quotes and stuff like that. So I just
Yeah,
put mad papers up in my, like I'll write down something that I need to see every day and just put it in my room. Like, cause at this point, like it's not even like somebody come into my room. People don't even come into my room like that. Like my room is really like my sanctuary for real. So,
yeah,
I got faith, purpose, value, um, take your own advice. You get out what you put in. You can't be great without others. And there's a couple other things that it's like
Yeah.
a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, and a bunch of stuff like that. Just to because if I read the stuff every day, then I'm just continuously putting these affirmations, into my head. So I feel like that's something I gotta add to my wall, so I can put that scrolling to the side because distractions take up a lot of time. Like I don't know about you, but lately, like the last month, each day has been like flying like crazy. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, but it just feel like it's just time is just flying right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely been like that for me too. Just, stay down till you come up.
Yeah,
Focus on your day so you can, be as efficient as possible, but more so so that you can stack those days and then, they turn into weeks, months, and years. So, yeah.
yeah. Have you ever been in a moment where like, or at least a point in time where you feel like you're going through the motions, but you know you're doing the right things?
Bro, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, oh my God. Many times. Yeah.
mm,
Like, and then after a while, it all starts to kind of like show itself like, okay, this is why I was doing it. But
yeah.
bro, I could give you a couple examples of those times. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the point where I'm at right now, because people probably look from the outside in and think like things is good. I'm like, yeah, things is okay. I'm blessed. I'm definitely
Yeah.
blessed, but I definitely feel like I'm just going through the motions. Just continuously. I'm definitely being consistent though. That's one thing that I can say this year has been
Yeah.
super consistent. With content, and then we've been consistent with the podcast, um, and I feel like doing the right things for so long. At some point, the fruit just gonna start bearing itself.
Yeah.
Um, but
For sure.
that time is really up to God for real. So I ain't even rushing. That's why I'm just really just trying to be as efficient and as focused as I can be right now. You
Yeah.
know. So,
That's valid.
but yeah, this episode 8. Appreciate y'all for if you watching this right now. Then we appreciate you.
Yeah.
We honestly appreciate you. We're gonna make sure that we giving a lot of value to y'all,
Hmm.
and make sure that y'all can watch this podcast and get a lot of information, get inspired, be motivated. And, if we can change the way a person thinks or change the way a person makes decisions or change their life, then that's better than all the money in the world to be able to impact lives and do things with purpose and stuff. So we appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
episode 8. You got anything for the people before we dive into the questions?
I think it's episode 8 should be named "How to Build a Business from Scratch." I want to say that. I mean, if we still going that way, because what I see all the time, just from my algorithm, is everything's all about business funding and how to basically get a loan to do a business from a bank with no paperwork or minimal paperwork. Like you just open your LLC yesterday. Now you want to go get 50 to 100,000 from a bank, and it's like even if that worked, why is there not enough guidance around how to actually build a business? And I want to talk about that, and also like keeping the mindset of business could be a million different things, a million different ways. There's no one way to do it, but there's definitely a way to do it. So I want to talk about that. Just from my opinion, I'm not saying I'm some guru or I know everything, but I built a business from scratch, and I feel like more people need to learn that because I feel like what we're dealing with right now with the economy, the presidential whatever, is a lot of things that are changing, and I feel like business ownership gives you a certain level of control that I love, and I feel like more people should experience it because with these changes and tariffs and all these things going around, they affect people who don't have a lot of control, and they affect those people because if you don't own anything or you don't have a business or you just you rely on W-2 income from a job, now you kind of are at somebody else's mercy, and who wants to live life like that?
Yeah.
Some people do, a lot of people do, but I just feel like if you're watching this and you are thinking about starting a business or just started it or you've been in business forever, there's going to be something that you could use or learn, some type of value you'll get from this. That's my main objective today.
And that's deep, and that's a lot,
Yeah.
'cause, I feel like that gives people freedom, and the life that we live today. I mean, freedom is there. It's
Yeah.
there for the people that want it, but it's not gonna be easy. And also, you need information. So,
Yep.
doing something like watching this podcast can, allow you to make less mistakes than you would have without
sure.
having that information. So, the first question to dive into that specific topic,
Let's go.
talking on business.
Okay.
What would you say is the first move in business? Like, is it, would you start a brand, do content, product, service, find an audience? What would be like the first step to building a business?
That's a great question. I would say matching up a problem with a solution to create value.
Mm.
So I could give a lot of different examples, but like I'll use Walmart. Walmart is, everybody knows Walmart, but like as a business, I feel like when Walmart, hit the streets, the problem was, how can I get most or all the things I need in one place? And the solution was Walmart saying, hey, we got these huge warehouse like, pieces of real estate. Let's put a store in there where you can buy clothes, food, tires, almost everything most Americans are looking for, so that, the problem of running to, Firestone to get some tires, then the grocery store to get some mayonnaise, and then, the farmer's market to get some produce, like that was the problem at some point in time. And then what Walmart did just said, just come here, we'll do it all.
Yeah.
And that, in essence, is saying, hey, even today, 2025, if you want to build a business, you got to be able to, solve a problem. So no matter what it is, you solving that problem with whatever solution that your business actually provides, that's how the value is created. And I can give you way more examples, but you see where I'm going with it, right? Yeah. So I think that's the first thing, because before you get your LLC, before you build your brand, before you do all of the sexy things, you have to have something that basically is repeatable and it actually is helping somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, without that, nothing else will make sense. Without that problem and that solution, there is no business.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So that's my little quick answer. But, I know we got other questions, so I ain't going to go too far into it. But I assume the questions will lead me down the path anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they say that, businesses, like you said, finding a problem and creating a solution for that problem and being able to help people and solve their problems, and make their lives easier. Like, if you can provide value to somebody, make their life easier and solve a problem, people would pay money for that. Yeah. Because they're probably getting time back, they're getting information that they can utilize to better themselves, and they're just being put in a position to where they, life in general is about solving problems. So if you know how to solve problems in general, you can thrive in life. So if you can solve another person's problem, you can, start a business that way.
Matter of fact, hold on, side note, because you just made me think of something. Anybody out there, maybe you don't want to be an entrepreneur or business owner, but I feel like on a resume, problem solving and critical thinking are mandatory. I don't care what kind of job you're looking for. You put that on your resume, somebody's gonna notice it.
Yeah.
And it's valid salad. But like, if you really think about it, like, bro, those are some key traits. So anybody out there who maybe you're in college and you spicing up your resume, throwing internships and stuff on there, make sure you have problem solving and critical thinking as a skill in that category on your resume, for sure.
I agree.
Yep.
And even execution.
Yeah.
That's great traits to have on a resume, because people actually really do look for that stuff, and that's things that show that you can get the job done, but you could also make it so that whatever problem this business has or this company has, you can help solve that problem and make them be in a position to where they can make more money,
Yeah.
hire more people, and just increase the culture of the atmosphere of the whatever company or business that it is.
Yup.
In terms of like finding an audience, what would you say is like a good way to kind of go about it? Like, say for example, someone has a digital marketing, business that they want to start, or a digital marketing agency.
Yeah.
What is like a good way to kind of go about finding an audience?
Obviously, social media. Like, social media is, we all know it's here to stay. But when it comes to digital marketing, most people market on social media. Most people who have businesses are on social media. And if you like, the best thing about social media and technology right now is kind of like, it's almost like, how can I explain it? Like, it's ever evolving. It's almost like having some Play-Doh. Like, it can turn into so many different things, and it gets molded towards what you're interested in. So if I had a digital marketing agency, I'm gonna jump on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I probably do all of them, but maybe my marketing agency is geared towards a certain industry. I'm gonna find, especially with the most slept on one is LinkedIn, because now you can go to where the most professional people are, the most CEOs, bosses, they're always on LinkedIn, and you can pitch your product to them, or at least see like what are they doing, what are they using, what are some potential problems that they may have that maybe they are not even aware of, and you want to like, comment, subscribe, just like you should do for our podcast. But like, you want to get their attention by giving them notifications, and not just always just a DM, but also like, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the algorithm works where if you're liking and you're interacting with certain kinds of content, it'll show you more of it. So it kind of makes it easier to build your brand, right? Like, you can now, let's just say you go in towards like, I want to do digital marketing for construction companies, because we all know construction companies probably make a lot of money, but they're not notoriously great at being tech savvy.
Yeah,
So you can
facts.
be that's the problem that you now are solving. Like, I will do all of your marketing so that you can get a ton of, potential customers, but you now don't have to worry about, really building that up, because I'll do it for you. But also you can continue to do your regular old, pen and paper stuff that you do to make your money. So yeah, like, definitely engage with content for the algorithm to feed you more of it, and also build that brand and build that awareness by reaching out to those CEOs, those founders, the people who are really at the top of a company, and just say, this is what I do, and I'm willing to do it for you. And honestly, depending on your situation, offer to do it for free. Like, I'll give you a month free, no obligations, just so that you can see how I operate. And then by the 29th day, we will have a meeting to say, do you want to keep going or not? And I would say, as the type of person I am, on that day 29, if you're not really feeling it, or it's any type of, I don't want to do it, I'm gone. Because now I can go, I just spent 29 days for nothing. Now I got to go to the next person to try to make something of that, and then, basically try to make it happen.
Yeah, nah, that's a lot right there, and I feel like that's like, you're, like we talked about earlier, you in a position to where you can, you're making someone's life easier, because they don't have to do all of that extra back end legwork, and then marketing is super essential for any business. So
Exactly.
if they don't have to market, then so they got somebody that's marketing for them, but they got marketing brings in a bunch more customers, a bunch more people that's gonna potentially need what they're offering, and they get to solve a lot more problems because they have that marketer. In terms of, I would say like building a brand. When it comes to building a brand, building an audience, you got your product or service that's solving these problems. What would you say is like the layout of having all of these things in place, and what do they need in place for them to take their business from scratch and try to start making some money from it?
That's a good question. I love that. I think first it probably will start with the mentality. Like, before you actually do anything, you got to have I would say like a global view. Like, to me, business is global. So even if you're a barber, it's like, you could, depending on how you run your business, you might get clients from India who fly over because you just that, cold with the clippers. Who knows? But like in any situation, any business, you have to understand that you probably shouldn't be just going towards your local area. Like, and I'm only saying that because I feel like that happens a lot. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what the business is, just oh, I wanna do for my people right here in the town. And it's like you can do that, but like there's money everywhere. So why are you only thinking of the people that you can reach out and touch? Like you really should be trying to do this, on a global level or at least national level. Like, you and I, we work at New York Life. We help people financially, but it's not just in New York State. Like we're licensed in other states. So that's a good example of how, we could just go straight to Salt City Market and just post up every day like, hey, who needs our help? We could do that. But, there's people in South Carolina, Virginia, Florida who probably know us, and see us online and they can literally do a Zoom, call. Now, back to answering your question, you got to have that, bigger, better mentality, just so that you can think bigger and do more.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is like, you have to continuously market your product.
Yeah,
Continuously,
that's a fact.
build your brand. Like one thing about me, I'm not big on tooting my own horn. I don't try to post every day, but I now have to. Like once I started a business, it's like, you can't be too humble. You can't hope people come to you. So it's like every single day you have to be doing something to open the door for your business. You know what I mean? And I struggle with that, to be completely honest. Like when I first started to, I think I'm in business, it's like, wait a second, like I gotta now talk my talk. Like I gotta always basically not so much be pushy and like, oh, check us out, support the movement. I didn't have to do that, but I do have to speak up and say, this is what I do and this is how I help people. And you can't take a day off. Like literally, you can't take weekends off. You can't take holidays off. Somewhere, some type of media should be posted about you, or at least you on your story, like, okay, it's going to expire in 24 hours, but I had to put it out there so that after a while, people kind of get what you're doing. They understand it. Maybe the first week or month, they're like, what is this? What does this even mean? But if you keep doing it consistently, which you have been doing, you post every day, and it's like, on January 1st, somebody might have saw your post and like, who is this dude? It's September 8th, they might be like, yeah, I know him. I've seen him, 200 times in a row. So that's a big thing when it comes to building a business because, like I said before, most of your clients don't know you.
That's a fact.
So knowing that and having that global view, you have to now kind of like shout from the mountaintop every day. Because there is going to be people who might go like, yo, that's dope, and they never do anything.
Facts.
Right? Or it might be the people that's like, yo, I am going to tap in, but after my son's birthday party on Saturday. And it's just like that. That's life, But the more you're out there with, like a blowhorn for your business, the more possibility you'll have for people to know who you are and what your business is all about. Then after a while, people will start to come to you. You won't have to do as much outreach, right? So that, to me, is like, that's the part of business that nobody talks about, but is mandatory. But it can be fun, but in the moment, not always. But looking back, it's almost like you kind of feel like, like I did that. Like I made sure that I was, shouting from that mountaintop. Even if I didn't want to, even if I don't like to brag or be salesy or put myself out there. No, you have to do it. You just you can't grow without doing that.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I think that's like a really good way to put it because, it's of course everybody wants people to just come to them, but that's just not how it works.
Yeah, realistically,
you can make it to the point where that's kind of how it works. So you can develop a system, and that system brings people to you, but that comes with being consistent or
it all starts from doing that.
And, just finding ways that you can provide a ton of value to somebody. And then once you can provide a ton of value to somebody, make their life easier or give them some information they never heard or information that they could use to better live, live a better quality of life, then it's like, it's hard to say no, or people just aren't ready to become the best version of themselves, or they're not ready to make a move, and that's, like you said, that's business. You know, that happens.
For sure.
In terms of like, I want to definitely touch on the mentality, but I wanted to ask like about marketing first because we touched on audience, branding,
Yeah.
and then the first step was finding a problem and solving that problem. So we find a problem,
Yeah.
solve the problem, find your audience, go on social media, look at your metrics, go outside of the box. Don't stay inside of your current market or your hometown. Hometown people that you know is good, but I heard this one quote, and I think it was Myron Golden, and he said,
He's a good dude.
yeah, no, 100%. And he said, he said, you want to find people that want to buy what you have to sell. And they want to buy what you have to sell only if they knew you existed.
Right.
So they have to be able to find you. You have to make yourself findable.
Right.
Social media is a way to do that. Networking is a way to do that. Outreach, ads, stuff like that. And if they can't see you, I mean, you can have the best product in the world, but if they can't see you, then it doesn't mean much. So, problem and solution, audience,
Yeah.
branding, marketing.
Marketing.
When it comes to marketing, why is marketing important, and how can people market to better get more leads for their business, get more customers, be more seen, be more findable?
Marketing is important because to me, well, marketing and sales go hand in hand, but to answer your question, marketing is important because it creates awareness for your business. It literally is you shouting from that mountaintop, like I said, because if you really think about it, everything you just broke down and even what I broke down, it all kind of derives from people knowing your business. Like, oh yeah, that's like, if there's not that situation where somebody kind of identifies your business, how will you ever get that person to give you some money?
Yeah.
Like, so to go deeper and even more simple, marketing is important because it basically opens the eyes of the people who are your potential customers or clients, whatever way you want to say it. But like, without marketing, it's really hard to make sales. Sometimes I hear people ask the question, what's more important, marketing or sales? I don't really like that question because it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like, but like, you have to have a way to market in a way. The way I like to market now, especially leveraging technology, is using AI to create you can either create a post or an ad and kind of run it like a commercial. Like, I want this ad or this post to post every single day for 30 days at the same time onto my, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, right? So we both know Go High Level is like an AI powered system to do that, to create and post at the same time on autopilot. So like, for me, bro, when I first started, I was paying this company to do marketing, that company, and then just hoping that leads came, right? And then it was okay. Leads did come, but then I'm like, well, how can I make this more efficient? How can I not pay several different agencies just to get a lead? Like, that's crazy. In my mind, that was crazy, but at first, I didn't know any other way. So now, if everybody has access to AI. You can literally talk to AI as if it's your marketing agency, and you can have it do things in your business that a marketing agency would. And on top of that, depending on your business, you need to have content that's real. You need to either have videos or pics of the work that was done that actually, you made money from, but it is real so that people can see, one, they're not scamming people. Two, damn, they did a good job. And three, years from now, that same content can be sitting right there on your social media for your business. And then, somebody can scroll a little more and see something that was posted today so that they can see your growth.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I'm big on service-based business because I don't really like products too much, but service-based business usually involves you doing a thing. So when you're done doing that thing, take a pic, do a video, post it, and that's not only marketing, but that's also like proof that will bring trust to your business, because I always say trust is the most important thing in business, because without trust, you don't have a business. Like, people, might support you, they might not, but who gives people money that they don't trust?
100%.
Right? Yeah. So with that, you know, you need a way to kind of build trust, but also show those who might have stumbled across your page, or, you know, they see your business, like somebody who may not know you, never heard of you, they could at least see like other people are doing what I think I should do and that this business provides, no matter what it is. And especially if you get reviews, like, you know, like a little testimonial video, or somebody just simply going to your Google and saying 5 stars because this was great. Most times these days, people will not buy anything until they see something like that first. That's a big thing. Like, and I feel like that's why I wanted to do this episode, because in business, we have to understand the evolution of the world, right? So now I feel like consumers are the smartest they've ever been. So you can't scam them, right? You can't do them dirty, because you're gonna get a bad review and everybody else is gonna be like, oh, no, your business might die because of that bad review.
That's a fact.
But one last thing about just the evolution and understanding that now consumers are so smart, it's so much easier to just compare this to that. Like, it's just too easy to do that now. So you really have to be a leg up on your competition, or at least show that, yeah, maybe they are better, but at least we pick up the phone every time. They might be better. They might be cheaper. Call them right now. Does anybody pick up the phone? So that's the other thing. So you got to just kind of understand, like, the people who I want to be my clients, they are not, 9 times out of 10, they're not dumb. And they may have already been doing research, looking for something I provide. They probably saw 10 other companies just like me, but why is mine going to be the one, you know, that wins? And there's, you know, a million different things that could be the answer to that. But the point is just knowing that as the owner, just keeping that in mind, because what I see a lot of times is people start a business and their whole mentality is right here in the 315, and they thinking like it's 1995. And they wonder why their business is stuck being this big when it can be as big as any other business. This is because you got limiting beliefs, you got small mindset, and you're not understanding how the world is evolving faster than ever. So if you can't think like that, it's hard to run a business when, you know, that's what you're limited to, right? So that's why mentality was the first thing. Well, problem and solution, but you know.
I feel like one of the biggest things too is like you said, building trust. Initially building trust, and then nurturing that relationship. Like, not just doing a service and then going about your day, but maybe doing a service, giving a product, and then checking up on that client or that customer. Hey, how did you like the service? How did you like the product?
You know what that's called?
What would you say?
Relational versus transactional.
Okay.
Right? You know what transactional is. Most businesses are transactional. But you want to be better, you want to be relational, and that is checking in. Hey, how you been? What's going on? What's been new? You know, what are you working on today? Whatever it is. That's relational. And I don't know anybody on the planet that doesn't want that.
And that's longevity too.
Exactly.
You know, that's how you create customers that buy from you, and then they buy more from you because you're you, and you know, you've built that relationship, or you're still nurturing that relationship and building on that relationship.
For sure.
I want to give an example too, like you said, like reviews and stuff. Reviews is mad important. Like, you know, if I'm out of town and I don't know where the good food at, I'm going on the maps. I'm gonna put in a couple filters, open now, top rated. You know, because they gotta have, if it's top rated, and then I'm looking at the pictures. I gotta look at the pictures. Some of the pictures, it'd be like a 4-star restaurant. Looking at the pictures, the food look mad, like it just don't look real, or it look burnt, or it's like pale. The food is pale. I'm like, yo, nah, I'm not doing pale. That. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be surprised. I went to Boston, and you know, we just looking at some places, and there was a place that was like 3.5, 4 stars, and the food just looked like it didn't. The color of the food didn't look like the color that it was supposed to be.
I feel
and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not eating there because that just don't look right.
Exactly.
And then we found a spot, good pictures, good view, good reviews, good rating. We went there. It was fire.
Yeah, that's
like, you know what I mean? That's how we just vetted out all of this stuff that wasn't, you know, I'm a consumer, so
just
at
off
that point,
reviews. The reviews got the business for that business. The reviews brought you in the door.
For sure, and the pictures, because if the pictures wasn't right, then I wasn't going there.
I feel like any business now, like nowadays, like reviews and pictures are essential for any business. I'm thinking now, like, this is why my wheels are turning. I can't think of one business in any industry where that's not important. I don't care if it's t-shirts, hot dogs, whatever. Like, people do want to see pictures, and they definitely want to see reviews. I was just telling my wife this, like, certain stuff, you see too many reviews, you kind of got to, like, because, like, people can buy reviews now.
Facts.
So that's another thing.
That's crazy.
Like, if you got, like, 20 reviews and they all 5-star, I might trust that over somebody who has 5,000 5-star reviews. Like, all right, no.
Yeah, that's
unless
kinda,
that business been
crazy.
in business for like 100 years, but come on now.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
And I forgot I was gonna say another thing too.
My bad.
Nah, you good.
Was it about marketing? Was it about the reviews? Was it
Nah, I think I did touch on that aspect. But in terms of like going about, I think I did talk about both of those because it was relational, building, nurturing that relationship, and then the example. So that was both of the points that I wanted to touch on.
Bet.
Okay. So now we're at problem, solution. Step 1: find a problem, create your solution.
Yeah.
Build up your audience. Go on social media. Think outside the box, outside of your hometown. Build out your market. Think nationally.
Yeah.
Branding, posting every single day. Posting every day, screaming from the mountaintops, raising awareness for your brand, being consistent, releasing quality content, outreach, paid ads, stuff like that. And then marketing.
Yeah.
You mentioned go high level, being able to, and that's a great resource. It's low key, like a lot of stuff in there. I'm still trying to figure out.
Me too.
I be confused in there. I go on the software, I'm seeing 40 things to click on. I'm like, yo. But they do have a help desk though, which is cool because you can
24 hours too.
Yeah, and that's the best part because like they literally will help you. Like they would even do some stuff for you. So that part, that's a really good tool.
Yeah, for sure.
So in terms of that aspect, that market, so we got all of these 4 components of business.
Yeah.
We're gonna touch on the mindset in a second, but
Okay.
in terms of this marketing component, we said go high level and the marketing agency. Would you still do a marketing agency, or are you like, I'm all in on high level and this is better than the marketing agency?
Bro, I'm gonna give you. I would never go back to a marketing agency. It's almost. I'm not gonna say it's a scam, but I was given a marketing agency, for example, this year, $600 a month. They were giving me 2 posts per month, and then they helped me like optimize my website and all this BS. But like the thing about the marketing agency is the things that need to be done usually can be done in the first month, and then you just monitor it from there. So from there, I don't need you anymore, but you're gonna still charge me $600 a month
For 2 posts?
2 posts, bro. 2, and I'm asking them like, you don't use AI? There's nothing that we can do to do more? And there's like, there's another package for $700 a month, and then cut it out. Like,
$700 a month.
check this out. I go do my own research, find Go High Level. I had been hearing about it, I just didn't use it. I just knew it was a thing. So in my brain, I'm gonna go get this because they had the packages laid out for $97, $297, and $497. I'm like, I'm gonna do $497 because it's cheaper than what I was doing, and I'm probably gonna have like a bunch of just options and resources. I'm thinking like the highest level one is better than the $97 one. So then, once you kind of opt in and you become a user of Go High Level, they do an onboarding process. And then during the onboarding process, they're like, for what you're saying you want to do, you only need the $97 one. I said, sign me up, let's go. Because I was already, in my head, I'm like, I'm saving money with the 500. And I saved more with the 100. With the $100 one, I can have 3 businesses as sub-accounts. So that's already like, wow, okay. I can post as much as I want. I can use this as a CRM, so like all of my clients and everybody who actually is already a client or potential client can now get put into a calendar, which that's already dope. I don't even use it, but I just go straight to marketing, and then I go to create now, and then I create, I think I've showed you, but basically I'll create a post that can go to my Google and my Facebook at the same time, and it's gonna show it's gonna be posted every day
Yeah.
at the same time for as long as I want. So I'm like, well, if I do that times 10, well, I got 10 commercials for my company that's gonna play every day. So to me, it just made more sense to do that than to pay the marketing agency. And then the thing about the marketing agency is they fake like it's, oh, don't worry about it, we got it. Which obviously that makes sense. That's them solving the problem for me. Like, I don't want to deal with it, you do it, right? But once the curtain gets pulled back and you see what's really what, they just do something the first month and then chill the rest of the months and collect your money. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need y'all, you know. And the funny thing about it, and I know business owners who are watching this, they might know what I mean as far as like every day somebody's calling you, oh, we can make you, marketing agencies do cold calling every day. So they try to sell you on it and they always go, oh, and there's no contract. And then you start to think, it's like, well, obviously it's no why would I sign up for a contract to do this stupid shit? Like, excuse my language, but like, there's no reason there would ever be a contract, but they use that as a flex to sell it to you. Like, no contract. And then I use that to my advantage. For that marketing agency, I said, this is your 30-day notice. We won't go further anymore. And then they stopped charging my account 30 days from that. And then ever since then, it's like, you could literally use Go High Level for everything. So that's why I'm like, I learned it little by little. And when it comes to marketing, it's like, it's put my business on steroids as far as like marketing. So yeah.
That's super tough. I know it got automations in there. You could build a website, you could build a funnel, you could do CRM, you could do
everything, bro.
Yeah.
We Go High Level need to send us a check for this episode. But anyways.
Shout out Go High Level. Sponsored by Sorry now.
Well, what's the next question? I want to make sure we get into the questions for the people.
All right, so it's to keep up with the timeline. We got problem, solution, finding an audience, building a brand, finding a marketing system.
Right.
Now, in terms of the mindset, because people think that they can, start a business, and after you start the business, you swimming in riches. That's not the case. That's not how business works. And honestly, business is actually really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard, and it takes a lot of time. And honestly, you probably won't see fruit in the beginning.
You should.
You're probably gonna lose money.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
But that's
I could talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. For sure, you gotta let the people know.
I'm telling you, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Not even pet peeves, but let's just say this: the narrative of what you just said, and how a lot of people talk about business like, oh, you think it's gonna be so easy, and you're gonna be swimming in the dough like Scrooge McDuck the first month, and all of that is fairy tale. It's BS. It's not true. But let me tell you why it's not true, and why you should be happy that is this way. Imagine starting a business, and in the first month you make more money than you've ever made, and it was really, really easy. To me, as a very superstitious person, something would be wrong with that. Like if you start to really think deeply, it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be a get rich quick. It's not. It wouldn't feel as good once you get past that threshold anyway. And you can apply the same logic to a lot of things in life, but in business, it's like, yes, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be profitable at first. But see, this goes back to something my boy Currency said. It was like, basically, life conditions you for the things that you want. So since it's not that easy, and since you have to do this, that, the third to get to the level you want from level one, that's why you feel so good once you get there.
Facts.
So what I'm saying is, imagine you start a business, right? And no matter what the business is, and it just take off. And you just like, whoa, hold on. You wouldn't even know how to handle that.
Yeah.
You would fumble that.
And then a year after that,
it's gonna die.
You like, oh, that done went up crazy. I don't even gotta do that much work for real.
It's gonna die. That's why businesses die. That's why when you go to try to get a business loan or to do anything business related, they want to see 2 years of tax returns because in the first 2 years most people fail.
Yeah, that's
simple.
A fact.
It's simple.
That's
but here's the good news though, because I don't want to be doom and gloom all day. Point I'm making is, if you know it's gonna be hard from the jump, once you start and it gets hard, you're not gonna be surprised. You're not gonna run away.
Yeah.
If you know it's not gonna be a bunch of money hitting your account in the first month, once you're broke that first month, it's gonna make you go harder so month 2 can be a little bit better. And these are the things that happen to condition you so that month 6 or year 2 or whatever, and you finally get to the point where it's like, well, damn, it's kind of working. These are the things that happen for you to understand it was all worth it. And I could talk all day about just that logic behind it for anything, for football, for, I'm raising my son to know this or that. Like, if everything was so easy from the jump, 1, you wouldn't care about it. 2, you probably should be skeptical that it's even really supposed to go that way. And 3, it's only going to work for a certain amount of time, and you would have had to change something up anyway.
That's a fact.
So that's that on that. That's my 2 cents on that.
It's
one.
honestly probably better if it's hard at first, because then you like you said, you're conditioning yourself to be able to handle hard work. You're able to handle loss. You can't win if you don't lose. You actually have to learn how to lose in order to win.
Oh my God, that's such a bar. Because it's true. It's like, imagine if you haven't touched a football in 2 years, and I'm like, yo, Detroit Lions need a running back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be ready for that. But you will be happy. Oh, word? Yeah, it's $1 million and blah blah blah. You're gonna get in there and get put on your back pockets because you weren't conditioned to. You see what I'm saying? Same logic, bro.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody gets what I'm saying and understands that. Yeah, start that business so that you can get past the hard stuff. Because yes, it's coming.
Yeah.
It is coming, and that's okay. If you built for it, you built for it. Matter of fact, I know people who started a business because they hate their job, and then their business failed because they was the worst employee at their job.
Wow.
So it's like you wasn't even equipped to do this, but you just didn't like where you were, and instead of working harder, you figured you work for yourself, thinking that would be
You
easier.
about to work harder for yourself if you ain't even working hard. I mean, of course you ain't going. You should work harder for yourself, to be honest. But you start getting into the motions of working hard in general, so that once you do go into business for yourself,
That
you already working
conditioning
hard.
we talking about.
For real. That's that example that you brought up about not playing football. I was literally talking to somebody about this the other day. I'm like, he was asking me questions about different things. I'm like, imagine you never played basketball in your life, and you turn 22, and then now you just going on a basketball court to play a game. I was like, do you think you'll be good? He's like, nah.
You wouldn't even know the rules.
Nah.
You over here traveling and walking out of bounds.
He's like, nah, like you just you going into a game, you don't know what you're doing, you know what I mean? You gotta ask for advice, you gotta train.
Exactly.
And training, I mean, that's why I like football so much, because football is so related to life. Like, if you think about it, I was just talking to my roommate about this yesterday. Football, we play like once a week, like one time a week. So that means from Sunday to game time is preparation.
All of it.
So you literally, there is no days off. Like, you're preparing every single day. Like, you're preparing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Like, literally, you're preparing every single day. You're training every single day. If you're not training and then you just get to the game, you're gonna get better like throughout the season. But if you training every day versus a person that's just coming on game day to play, whoever's training every single day is gonna be way better than the person that's just showing up on game day to play.
That's a fact.
And then another thing too, to touch on, Currency. Currency dropped 2 albums in 2 months.
That's my dog.
I'm like, yo, I'll go on, Apple Music.
He don't slack at all.
I'm like, yo.
At all. That man
I ain't
go
even
hard.
get through the last one yet. He dropped another one already. And he's independent. So, like, he's been doing it for a long time.
Literally.
So, like, I was talking to my boy about Larry June. Larry June been making music since, like, 2010, 11.
Bro, I didn't even know that either. I saw like a retweet or not it was like a video basically showing Larry in 2010. I was like, look way different or whatever. But it's like, that is a prime example of staying down till you come up.
Yeah, and he really started like getting popping to like 2016, 17.
Facts.
And now he I consider him mainstream now. And a lot of people still don't know him.
Yeah.
And that's like,
it's really like that.
That's 6 7 years of just consistently dropping and dropping in the studio, in the studio.
Quality
really
with great producers, like, bro. hella takes with the Alchemist. Alchemist,
Yeah.
one of my favorite producers, but
Cardo be going crazy too. I
yeah,
can't lie.
like
Cardo
that's
be wild.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you know,
Cardo is crazy.
yeah,
And then also I was gonna say business is like business itself is a process. Like you start something and you have an end goal and you just continuously, like we talked about earlier. That's why I feel like, going through the motions, but if you're doing the right thing, if you're doing the right things and stacking those days, stacking those wins, stacking those habits, and basically just refining your process throughout the process,
yeah,
you're gonna get to where you want to go. It's gonna be very slow, but you're gonna get there
yeah,
eventually. And when it comes to business, it's really like being strategic, knowing, having the information, watching stuff like this, and planning, and actually putting stuff on paper, and
yep,
it's gonna come at some point. At some point, it's gonna come.
for sure, for sure.
So to touch on a mindset piece,
Take your time, you got it.
do CEOs move like the average person?
I would say no.
How do you think CEOs actually move? Like, what is their day to day kind of like look like in terms of like, are they at parties every single weekend?
Hell no.
It was a quote in the
Excuse my language.
it was a quote in a meeting earlier today, and it was study while they sleep, or no, study while they party, work while they sleep, live like they dream.
Yep, I've heard
And
that.
I feel like that's literally the two. I feel like the CEOs on that study, work, live, and
Yeah.
a lot of people are on that party, sleep, dream.
Yeah, I feel like the best way for me to really talk about it is to start with the people who party first, like to really explain my viewpoint. Now, keep in mind, this is just my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But the people who prioritize partying, you can never be a CEO. It just that's not the right fabric. You know what I mean? So here's the thing: if you wake up past 9 a.m., it's probably not CEO worthy. If you cannot commit to the things you know you need to do, not CEO worthy, right? And that could be a lot of different things, but committing to yourself. One thing about being a CEO, you literally have to give yourself work to do.
That's a fact.
Imagine somebody who doesn't like to do work and telling them they got to give themselves work. They're gonna go, "Well, I'm off today."
Nah, seriously, and that's why people can't work for themselves.
Exactly. So that kind of goes back to the joke I just made about how like somebody leaves their job because they hate it. They want to start their own business, and it fails because you were the worst employee at that job anyway. You already weren't that fabric to be a hard worker. I feel like a lot of CEOs were once the hardest worker.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing is CEOs, depending on the business, especially because some people are CEOs, but they don't only employ anyway, so it don't matter,
Facts.
right? Which is nothing wrong with that, but it's just like that's a different strategy than a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. That's also a different strategy of a CEO of a small local business. But the point I'm making is, as the CEO, you always have to be thinking into the future. People who party and prioritize fun are thinking about now.
Yeah, facts.
CEOs are thinking about 2030, 2035, 2050. This is just my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like, since you are always thinking into the future, you do things that you know will help your future self or your business. The other thing about being a CEO is I think you have to have a certain level of financial aptitude. Like, you can't not know what assets and liabilities are and be a good CEO. I just don't believe that would be sensible. Another thing is, with financial aptitude, you understand every dollar that comes into the door is not yours. If I'm a CEO and I am trying to run it up just so I could go buy a G-Wagon, my business is gonna die.
Yeah.
Right? So CEOs look at it probably from the standpoint of I'm gonna make $1 because I'm only gonna get 20 cents of that dollar. So then if I can make $1 million, I'm gonna get 200,000. It's the same math. It's just more zeros on the end of one.
Yeah, facts.
But most people don't even have that financial aptitude. Most people, and it's not their fault. That's the one thing I would say in 2025 that I've learned that I'm really just accepting is the fact that most people do not have financial aptitude. And I'm talking about politicians, judges, lawmakers, all the way down to regular employees. Since we don't get to learn it in school, we get to a position where we're adults, we're responsible for certain things, but we do not have the tools to be financially fit. So now you got to either go unlearn what you've learned, excuse me, or learn a heap of a lot more at the same time as being responsible for all these other things. But, you know, I feel like the other side of it and what I'm really kind of trying to sum up is CEOs, they embrace the journey. They're not thinking about, I want to do this to be done. It's about, I got to do this so that I can do that because that will put me in position to do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's always going to be that process, like you said, as opposed to start and finish. It's the middle that makes all of what's real.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. And then obviously, if you really want to stay in business, it probably isn't a finish line. It's just, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why the journey is even more valuable because it's like, damn, every day matters a lot because there's always something that can, you know, basically end up happening. But even the past starts to matter because it's like, I remember that from the past. I learned that lesson, so I'm gonna apply it to now so that my future is a little bit brighter and I don't fall into that same pitfall that I already learned from. So
I agree. And then when it comes to being, you know, becoming more financially fit and building up that financial aptitude, I feel like a direct solution to that problem is having a meeting with us.
Yeah.
And, you know, because it's literally what we do every single day, and it's super value packed. And it's a lot of different angles and approaches to it, but also people, one is free, it's absolutely free to meet. And, you know, people can receive a ton of resources, ton of value, ton of information that I feel like that's a choice.
Yeah.
And if people don't make that choice, then they're gonna make the choice to be comfortable. And I feel like that's, you know, a big thing to kind of keep in mind. But being the hardest worker is it's not easy.
Yeah.
But people have to literally just make a choice to do that. And if they don't, then it's like probably won't happen.
Man,
unless that's who they are.
I mean, I agree, but when you say it's not easy, you got to start to think about, well, shit, what is easy that's actually valuable? Like, let's be honest. Like, if you really think about it, if you want to go the easy way out, you probably shouldn't even be watching this. I'm gonna be honest, like, because you got to think, bro, everything is hard. Every single thing, there's a level of it's hard to it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, so what I'm saying is, like, you know, some people may have heard this, but it's like, choose your hard. Like, poverty is hard, you know, but starting a business is too. Which one would you choose, though? I would start that business instead of choosing the hardness of poverty.
Facts.
Right? So, like, that's really how I look at a lot of things because, every single thing has some type of difficulty. But what we usually don't understand is we kind of can choose what hard we even want to deal with. You know what I mean? So, like, once I realized, like, well, I mean, bro, I worked at Upstate 12 years and worked really hard. And then I realized I could have done the same thing for my own company or for myself. And I probably even would have worked harder. And once I realized that, it was no looking back. But in the moment, it's like, that's all I knew. I was just like, I'm gonna work hard, you know? So, you know, once I stopped and kind of like took a 30,000 foot view of like my life and I understood like, bro, I could have been working hard for them same 12 years for myself, you know? And I felt like, damn, I should have. But at the same time, maybe those 12 years conditioned me to go for these next 12 years and see what that pans out to be. So that's just my thoughts, though.
Nah, that's definitely real. That's definitely real. In terms of, you know, making that decision and trying to be, you know, the best version of yourself and to be a person that like just shows up on time and, you know, trying to be the hardest worker, what do you think is some things that, like, some things just to keep in mind in general for people that want to be the hardest worker, or they want to start a business and they want to change their life? Like, what is just some things that they should just be aware of and throughout this process?
Well, the first thing is like just keeping in mind like working hard. Obviously, it's important, but it doesn't have to be forever. You can work hard for a finite amount of time, and it will help unfold the easy life. The other thing is if you're working hard, especially in a job, like, you know, you got to find the thing at that job that everybody hates. I really am a firm believer, and I've done it. I've proven it for myself. Like, because every job has that one thing, maybe two or three things, but let's just say the one thing nobody wants to do, whether it's cleaning the bathroom or
Making
setting up
calls.
this, or maybe you're a CNA, nobody want to wipe somebody else behind, whatever. Just do it, but also know that like I'm doing this because I want to separate myself from everybody who runs from this. Because with that one thing I'm talking about, everybody who hears this will know, yeah, I know people who will never do that because they don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
Uncomfortable.
you have to embrace doing that thing, because 9 times out of 10, once you do it, it's like, damn, that really wasn't that bad, you know? But
Facts.
once you do that, it now separates you from the lazy, average Joe.
Yep.
And then you do it again, and you do it again. And then after a while, here's the other point in how it all marries up. You gotta be able to be identified by the people who matter. So don't just be the hardest worker and the boss don't even know you. It's, hey, what's going on, boss? Hey, how you doing, boss? You know, or just kind of like build that respect to match up with the hard work, so that that boss looks at you like, I see him, I see him. Because if you're doing all that, but you know, antisocial, introverted, nobody knows you, you're doing it for no reason. You need to do it for the right reasons and let the right people see you. Because if you want to level up, or if you want to branch out and do your own thing, some of those relationships from work can actually be fruitful into your own thing. So you really have to do it with the mindset of like, I'm gonna get noticed, or I'm gonna build a relationship with the boss, the CEO, the founder, whatever, because those people notice. Those people always will. But if you're not making it known, they can easily overlook you. So yeah, it's not what you know, it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Facts.
That is the key. And then, you know, with that, like, okay, working hard, being noticed by the founder or the CEO. The third thing is taking that leap of faith and becoming a business owner, or, you know, getting promoted maybe, and now leveraging the rest of what could be, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I feel like getting out of your comfort zone is huge, and that goes along with the same thing. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of people that say they want a certain thing, but when it comes to the actual work and, you know, hard work that comes behind it, it's like sometimes they can kind of shy away from it.
Yeah.
For the person, or for the people out there that, you know, they want to build up a better life for themselves, they want to start some type of business, they want to make more money, but they just have bad habits, or they have something that's hindering them. Excuse me. They have something that's hindering them from putting in that actual work. What do you think is something that they should start with?
Writing it down, because I bet you that's harder than you think. If you know you have things that you struggle with, write down, I struggle with X. A lot of people don't want to do that.
Facts.
It's so simple, but it's like, boy, if I told you to do that, so many people, I lost my pen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Write it down, identify it, look it in the mirror, understand that, yes, this is a thing, but I'm gonna beat this thing.
Yeah. Facts.
The first thing.
100%.
Right? The other thing is, it kind of goes back to what you just said. Like, you got to get out your comfort zone. So if you have bad habits, it will be uncomfortable to break them, right? But if you break them, now you don't have those bad habits. Now it helps you prosper. So, as boring and hard as that may sound, there's no way around it. You can't cheat hard work. You can't fake hard work. You just can't. So instead of thinking, oh, there's some hack to it or some way around it, just do it, because it's simpler. It's probably simpler and it's probably easier, but people get wrapped up in their mind on how hard something is until they actually do it, and it's like that wasn't that bad.
You
And
trying it for 10 minutes.
exactly, and then on top of that, like one thing my mom always used to say, which low key I used to hate, but now I love, is what don't kill you make you stronger. I know a lot of people heard that, but it's like that's so true, because if you have that bad habit and you go to try to break it, and it's annoying or you don't want to do it, but it didn't kill you, it made you stronger.
Facts.
So then when you go to repeat that process again, it ain't that bad. Then after a while, you just keep doing it. Matter of fact, that's a prime example of how you end up doing the one thing at work everybody hates, because you won't want to do it either that first day. Then you're going to do it, and it's like, well, then it only took 10 minutes. Back when I worked at Upstate, it was just one thing that everybody hated I would do, and I would do it and take my time, and it would burn up a half hour. So I was thinking in my head, like, well, if I get off in 30 minutes, and I'm gonna go do that thing, I'm gonna be done with work after that. So like little examples like that, you know. So yeah, bro, it's really like that.
No, that's real. That's definitely real. I feel like that's a lot of good information. We about like an hour in. We low-key only got through a couple questions, so there's a lot of questions left to get through.
Maybe we can do part 2 next
yeah,
week.
Yeah, we're gonna, you know.
That is dope. We should do part 2.
Yeah.
So that you can use your time efficiently and you don't have to worry about new questions next week. We will pick up where we left off. Don't lose that postcard or that index card. But yeah, for sure. That's a good thing.
Yeah, man. I hope that y'all was able to get some good information from this video, from this podcast. Anything that you want to kind of leave the people with?
Nah, honestly, like, comment, subscribe, and get ready for part 2. Cause we definitely will basically make this the part 1, and then next week will be part 2.
Yeah, and make sure y'all bring y'all notebooks and write this stuff down.
Yeah, get your pen and paper.
We just laid out the timeline, the process.